Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with All Things Barbecue, and today we're going to be reverse searing some butterfly cut pork chops and finish it with a pan sauce. So this is about a 2.5 pound roast, boneless pork loin, and we're going to cut this down into some big butterfly chops, but before I do that, I'm going to get rid of this fat cap on the top. And the reason I'm doing that is not because I don't want the fat. The fat's fine. But I don't want the silver skin that's underneath the fat. Now you see this silver stuff under here? That's just gonna make it chewy in the end, so we're gonna get rid of that. Now if you're worried about your pork chop losing moisture because you don't have that fat cap on it, all you have to do is worry about hitting your target temperatures. A pork chop that comes off at 135 and rests to 140 is gonna be juicy every time. So let's take this roast and divide it in half now. Now each one of these we're going to cut down, but not all the way through. So we get to the point where we can open this up and we have one big chop. So down but not all the way through. And just until it will open up and sit flat. There we go. We're gonna hit the surface with just a little bit of oil to give the rub something to stick to. And then we're gonna season these up with our Cattleman's Grill Steakhouse seasoning. This is a fantastic savory rub. It's good for chicken, pork, beef, all around savory rub, lots of herbs. Some garlic and salt and pepper. All right, let's let these rest for a minute while we go prepare the grill. We're cooking our chops on a Napoleon P500 RSIB gas grill. And we're going to utilize a couple different features today, including a wood chip box that's going to provide some smoke for our smoking portion of the cook. And we're also going to utilize the side burner where we're going to make our pan sauce and finish with a sear. All right, the smoke box is positioned on top of the flavorizer bars. We're going to fill up the tray with some peach wood chips today. You can use whatever kind of wood chips you want. I've chosen peach for this occasion. I'm not going to soak them. I'm going to put them in there dry, close it up, and then the heat coming from the burners is going to ignite and cause them to smolder and smoke. We're actually going to place these chops on the second shelf in here today. I don't want them to cook really fast. We're going to allow some time for them to soak up some smoke flavor. Now with that said, we're not actually cooking at smoking temperatures today. This will be more of a smoke roast. See, we're adding the smoke by turning on just that one burner underneath it. The rest of the grill is indirect cooking. So we're keeping the pork away from the direct heat so that it can soak up some smoke, and then we'll finish with a direct sear in the skillet. Our pork chops are sitting at about 120 degrees internal temperature. So at this point, we've given them 25 minutes with the smoke. I'm gonna place them on the hot skillet and allow them to sear. So it's only been about 2 minutes, and you can see we already have a nice sear on the outside. We'll flip it over and get the other side. Then remove it from the skillet and sear the other chop. All right, getting a good sear on the bottom side. And you can see the stuff that's left behind, that's the fond. And that's gonna flavor our sauce. Now when you're making a pan sauce, it all starts with that fond, those bits that are left behind from the searing. At this point, I'm gonna turn this down so we're not quite so hot. And then we're gonna throw some shallots in here. And you could do onions if you like, just anything aromatic to get your sauce started. And as we work this around in this pan, it's gonna start to pick up some of that fond. But we really need something else that we can deglaze with. So once we get through with our aromatics, and we will add a little bit of garlic to this as well, perhaps a little thyme. We're going to deglaze with a liquid. All right, so we're going to hit this with some white wine. With about half a cup. And now we've loosened all of those bits from the bottom of the pan. We're going to let this wine reduce down until it's almost gone. And then there's a couple different directions you can go. Now we are working with white wine, but you don't have to use white wine. You could use a brandy or a bourbon. You could even just use chicken stock. And then from here, we're going to add some extra liquid to build the sauce. Today I want to use a little chicken broth. You could also just go straight cream and have a creamy sauce. The great thing about pan sauces is you don't need a recipe. You really can just kind of make it what you want it to be with what you have around. All right, next we're going to hit this with the broth. And we'll let this reduce down as well. And as this comes to a simmer, I'm going to add my last flavoring agent, and that's a little bit of a slow smoke gold mustard sauce. You could use a Dijon or whatever kind of mustard you really enjoy. Whereas mustard is totally optional. Like I said, it's just my choice, what I would like to flavor the sauce with today. And then to finish this off, just a little bit of heavy cream. A couple of tablespoons should do it. And 1 pat of butter. And now we've got a really rich, creamy pan sauce for our pork chops, which after about 5 minutes should be rested and ready to plate. All right, there we have it. The butterfly pork chop with the pan sauce. First impression is that it's very tender, lots of juice in the middle. Like I said, hitting your internal temperatures is key to getting a nice and juicy pork chop. And the sauce on top, it's tangy. It's just the white wine, but it's tangy and delicious and a great contrast to that white pork meat. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to thesauce.atbbq.com. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.